Good day, everyone. My name is Lee Kai Sing, matrix number 287723. Today, I'm going to present my persuasive speech, which is about death penalty should be abolished. Death penalty is a state-sanctioned practice of deliberately killing a person as a punishment for an actual or supposed crime. To be sentenced to a death penalty, the offender normally would have conducted serious crime offense such as murdering, drug trafficking, and other serious crime. Many people say that death sentence is necessary for these serious crime offenders, as these criminals necessarily cause problems to the society. However, have you thought of giving this person another chance? Or some of them might be innocent. For example, it was a judicial mistake of the judge. They are just someone tool of doing such crimes, or even they do not know what they are doing is wrong in the first place due to their ignorance or their kindness. Pope Francis once said that the dignity of a person is not even lost, even committing the most serious crime, and death penalty is morally immiscible. They talk about issues related to death penalty. Forgiving one who really sins against you or sins against us, causing problem to the society is really hard. It really needs courage and a well-prepared heart. But we must understand also that the things that we have lost cannot come back in regardless of how much a thing mean to us, and learn to forgive another, make this world a better place to live. Being considerate of why the person is doing the wrong thing is also important, because this thing might happen to us one day. Now, I would like to talk about why death penalty should be abolished, as it has the risk of executing innocent people, incompatible with human rights and human dignity, and cannot solve crime issue effectively. The first point is that death penalty could kill innocent people. Death penalty has the risk of executing innocent people because some people might not be aware of what they are doing, forced to do so, or even have been framed by other people. There have been cases that people are cheated in airports or the checkpoints by some other people. For example, someone was asked to carry a luggage for another group of people, or a person that asked for help. The group of people, the individual might look old or harmless out of kindness. The one who helped them would have been arrested by the authority and put into sentence, and the real man behind it has already run away. People in poorer states, there are syndicates who force them to do a crime. Even though they know what they are doing will lead them into death penalty, maybe due to poverty, they need to earn some income to survive, to sustain their family, to protect themselves also. And maybe the money they have earned is just a small portion to the income the crime syndicate have earned from the crime. So here's an example: the real police bus airport drugs rings that exploited innocent passengers' luggage label. This was taken by The Guardian. This news was reported by The Guardian. So what will happen if these people were being arrested? In some war zones and countries that face instability, have been cases that warlords and some terrorist groups force someone to commit crime. Some terrorist groups and extremists like the Al-Shabaab in Somalia and Lord Resistance Army in Central African countries brainwash young people and only educate people, or even force people to do crimes such as killing, rape, stealing, and attacking others by the reason for God. If they refuse to do so, they will be killed immediately. And many times, if these innocent people was being arrested by the government forces, they will be sentenced into death penalty. The judges or people in the judicial will make a mistake. There have been cases that judges have been mistakenly made a decision. Since 1973, at least 190 people have been wrongly executed, convicted, and sentenced into death in the United States have been exonerated. Sometimes there have been loopholes in law such that insufficient written evidence that someone is innocent, although logically it is, but the judge have no choice but to sentence the one to death penalty. The next point is that death penalty is against human rights. Death penalty is incompatible with human rights and human dignity. Life is a fundamental part of human life. John Finnis, a neo-naturalist who have been developed classical natural law theory, sets out the 7 basic goods for human well-being and development is notable work of natural law and natural rights. He has been pointed out that life is one of the essential elements in this regard. Similarly, it has been observed that the right to life is the foundation of all other rights, whereas international, regional, and other instruments have ensured man's absolute right to life. Death penalty is incomparable, the most extreme form of punishment among all, as it takes away someone's life without considering other factors. Death penalty is not imposing on children by law, but there are still a number of countries which are imposing death penalty on persons who are minors at the time they committed the crime. For instance, people in South Sudan and Iran were executed under the age of 18, according to Amnesty International. The imposition and execution of the death penalty against people who are under the age of 18 is a violation to international law, taking away someone's life that I've mentioned above, the ones that were not volunteering to do something, and also when executing the young ones is extremely cruel. And these have no difference to other terrorist groups or the brutal ones. We need to look forward in accepting that the ones who lost are not able to come back. As mentioned above, forgiving others is not an easy thing, but we must look forward in the fact that the thing that have lost are not able to return again. Why not we give the person another chance to survive? Giving a person a second chance to survive is essential because the person might be mentally immature while doing the crime, or maybe due to extreme stress or the environment force them to do so. These people deserve a chance to change themselves and to transform their life. Everyone makes mistakes in their life. The mistake might bring harm to society or individual, but we can take their life mistake as a life lesson, and we should never repeat it again. But we must always remember of why those things happen. When we give the persons another chance, the person might be very helpful in the future and directly change another person. Or maybe, who knows, the person can be another great person who will change this world one day. The final point is that death penalty cannot handle crime effectively. Death penalty cannot handle crime cases effectively because death penalty is not a deterrent. Most people who commit crime do not expect themselves to be arrested or put to sentence. There are some criminals who do not care even about their life. Even putting them into death penalty means nothing to them. Instead, a better rehabilitation system should be set up in prison to educate the criminals well before they return to society. Even in countries where death penalty is imposed, there are still crime cases going around, and most of it are the crime cases that will lead them into death penalty. Instead, in some cases or some countries where no death penalty was imposed, the crime rate is even lower compared to those countries which impose death penalty. John J. Donohue III, a professor of law at Stanford University, stated the following in his August 8, 2015 article. There is no evidence that death penalty is a deterrent against crime. Death penalty cannot combat extremism that leads into crime cases. Extremist groups that use the name of religion and race to continue to brainwash people to do crimes. As for them, death is a glory. Instead, we should set a better education system that educate the people from the young ages to differentiate what is right and what is wrong to combat crimes caused by extremism and not death penalty. Because in many cases, these people are innocent in some sense. In conclusion, when we look at death penalty, there are many areas of doubts and uncertainties. If it takes away someone's life, if death penalty is abolished, many people that did mistake in the past will have another chance to live, to have another chance to change themselves to be a better person, and the innocent people would not have been put to death. In the end of my speech, I will give a quote from J.R.R. Tolkien. Many that live deserve death, and some that die deserve life. Can you give it to them? Then do not be too eager to deal out death in judgment. That's all from me in my speech for today. Thank you and have a nice day.